Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Buffalo SportsCenter video. I am Don, and today we are going to predict the Buffalo Sabres opening night lineup for the 2022-23 season. It's a new year with newfound optimism surrounding the organization, management, and the fan base. So with all of that in mind, let's just get right into it now with our forwards group. So you're going to see right here what I think is going to be the top four lines for the Sabres against the Ottawa Senators on October 13th. Yeah, it's not that far away, folks. It's coming up really quickly here. So the first line I feel is pretty non-controversial. Skinner, Thompson, Tuch, really good finish to last season. Thompson paired really well with Skinner. Thompson and Skinner are both shoot first kind of guys, which makes another guy like Alex Tuch, the right winger who we acquired in the Jack Eichel trade, a really good fit because Tuch is a pass first, very selfless kind of player on the ice. He will be really good, and I expect this first line to be really good for the Sabres once again. After that, though, there's been a lot of questions as to how the rest of the lineup is going to shake out. Now, for the second line, I went with Krebs, Dylan Cozens, and rookie. Technically, he's a rookie, even though we saw him 2 games last season. Jack Quinn. This is an exciting young line, and I get what some fans and some viewers are saying right now. Well, isn't Peyton Krebs a center? Kind of, but last season, the Sabres mainly utilized him as a winger. He can play center, and that's the eventual goal for him. But for now, I have him outside on the wing just because look at the center depth the Sabres have going for them right now. Thompson, Cozens, Mittelstadt, Gergensons. That's pretty good. It's going to be tough for Krebs to unseat any of them. So Krebs is another pass-first kind of guy. Cozens, pass-first kind of guy. Jack Quinn, this is your lethal shot finisher of, breakout plays, because I assume the Sabres will be in their own end more times than not this season. This is a balanced line in my opinion. It will give the younger guys a lot of opportunities to face off against elite competition in the NHL. Each 3 of these guys, by being on this line, will get more opportunities to show what they really can be, and it will give them a lot more stuff and video to work with going into the upcoming seasons as they keep progressing as professional hockey players. Third line, it's a little tricky here. I have Vinny Hinostroza, who was recently re-signed by the Sabres. Casey Mittelstadt, who is looking for a bounce-back season. It feels like his 3rd straight bounce-back season. And Victor Olofsson. Now, Victor Olofsson is on the 3rd line, but there's good reason for that. And I don't know if anyone noticed, but towards the end of the season last year, Casey Mittelstadt and Victor Olofsson were really meshing well together. I expect Don Granato to keep this chemistry together, doesn't want to break something up that doesn't need to be broken up, and put Mittelstadt with Olofsson. You'll see Olofsson, surprisingly enough, compensate for some of Mittelstadt's defensive issues. And Hinostroza, another solid top 9 player. I'm kind of glad the Sabres brought him back. That gives the younger prospects in the pipeline another year to develop, and it doesn't necessarily mean they have to rush into everything. And finally, the 4th line here, I have Rasmus Asplund with Zemgas, Gergensons, and Poso. 3 very good defensive players. None of them are elite goal scorers anymore. Asplund never was. Poso used to be, and he actually scored 21 goals last year. But I still think that he will be shoved down to the 4th line. And Zemgas Gergensons, he's been with the team for 9 years. Sabres fans, you know what to get from him. Very solid play defensively. About tops 10 goals a season. Lowest is 6, right in that range. So not too much in goal scoring terms, but they won't do anything to hurt you. Now, I am going to talk about some notable omissions from this forward group right here. And, of course, the biggest one is youngster J.J. Peterka. Some people are going to say, well, if you didn't bring up Peterka, why are you bringing up Quinn? And there's a simple reason for this. The Sabres just have too many decent forwards right now. J.J. Peterka had a good end to last season with the Rochester Americans, and you could probably make a case that he had a better playoff showing than Jack Quinn. But I think that the Sabres are higher right now on Jack Quinn. And look at the left wing depth. If the Sabres hadn't brought back Hinostroza, I would have fully expected Peterka to slot in on that 3rd line. But since he's here, and since Peterka didn't really show too much when he did get a chance in the middle of last season, I think they'll start him out in Rochester, but expected to see him up pretty quickly after that. And then Anders Bjork, Brett Murray, these are two gritty guys that don't score much, and I don't expect them to make the opening night lineup. Maybe they'll be scratches. I don't know. We'll see. Let's move on now to the defensive side of things and talk about the Sabres D-core. Very, like the forwards, is another young group of guys and a lot of promise here. Looking at the top pairing, I have the defensive sound Matthias Samuelsson. Paired with him is one of the faces of the franchise, Rasmus Dahlin. These two guys just played so well together last year, and while we would like to see more finishing to Matthias Samuelsson's game, we saw that with Rasmus Dahlin when he was paired up with Samuelsson. So I expect Samuelsson to be your stay-at-home defender while Dahlin joins the rush. And Dahlin, by the way, looked very good last year, took a huge step in his development. Had he not taken that step, I think a lot of fans would be saying that he'd be a bust. But things turned out more positively, as did many things around the organization as the year went on. And now Dahlin looks to be much, much better. And now on the second pairing, we have Owen Power and Ilya Lyubushkin, who was just he was just signed in free agency from the Toronto Maple Leafs. And with this, you put Owen Power next to a veteran defenseman. That's the biggest thing that tells me here that the Sabres are looking long-term with Owen Power. They don't expect him necessarily to be great at the outset of things. Putting him with a guy like Ilya Lyubushkin gives Owen Power that time to grow and make some mistakes early on in his NHL career. He doesn't have to be perfect. Lyubushkin will help sweep things up, mop up the mess that Owen Power could create, especially in the early part of his first real professional season with the Sabres. And then finally, on the third pairing is Jacob Bryson and Henri Jokiharju. Henri Jokiharju has taken a bit of a tumble. Last year we saw him being paired up with Dahlin and on the first line with Dahlin. But he doesn't really look too good against the top four competition from other teams. So giving him sheltered minutes, giving him sheltered looks against other forwards and other teams is probably the best for him. And then Jacob Bryson, not too much upside here. He's good, he's okay, nothing too great. And I really could have easily, instead of putting Jacob Bryson here, I could have easily put Lawrence Pilu here. I could have put Casey Fitzgerald here. Casey Fitzgerald, not so much. Mainly, it's between Jacob Bryson and Lawrence Pilu. All right, and let's move into the final part of my predicted Sabres team, and I have Eric Camry as the opening night starting goalie. He was just signed. He was much like Lyubushkin, signed in free agency from the Winnipeg Jets, and the backup will be 41-year-old Craig Anderson. I don't think there's too much controversy here. UPL just has not shown enough so far in the preseason to warrant starting gig either as the backup or the starter on opening night. He's more likely to see, again, more Rochester minutes. And another frustrating setback for him, to be sure. And with Eric Comrie, this is his first real shot at being a starter in the NHL. He cannot blow this. He's signed to a 2-year deal. He must get out on a right foot here. And he'll have some support with Craig Anderson, who has now played with the Sabres for 1 year, surprisingly enough. I thought that when we signed Craig Anderson that he would be definitely retiring after last year, but the good vibes keep on rolling with Craig Anderson and the rest of the guys. So, there you have it, folks. That is my opening night starting lineup predictions for the 2022-23 Buffalo Sabres. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I was Don, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.